Hey everyone! The secret behind the prophecy in the Buffyverse was fully revealed in the official Season 8 comics, and it changed everything. But first, I highly recommend checking out part 1 of this video, where we explored the final seasons of Buffy and Angel, introduced the new romantic arcs of the main characters, and uncovered some of the wildest twists in the storyline. We left off at the point where Whistler had convinced Angel to set Buffy on a path toward ultimate strength no matter the cost. This was all part of a twisted vision of evolution involving a higher plane, a key element of the mythology from the Angel TV show. So the first step, Angel himself was transformed, gaining new abilities and using them like a flying superhero. But then, under the name Twilight, Angel confidently led his anti-Slayer army to provoke Buffy's growth and challenge. This crazy move was part of a chaotic, near-delusional plan, pushing Buffy toward her destiny, hoping to trigger the same kind of supernatural power he had experienced. Angel rallied Buffy's old enemies and even recruited human operatives from the US military into his cause. Sadly, hundreds of Slayers had been destroyed due to his campaign. Harmony's arc in this timeline ended up being far more eventful than anyone could have predicted. She started out as Angel's secretary, only to betray him later, but that was just the beginning. Eventually, she aligned herself with the Twilight agenda and became the unexpected spokesperson for a new world order. It was Harmony who revealed the existence of vampires to the world, catapulting herself into fame as the star of a vampire-themed reality show. She quickly used that platform to promote a bold new narrative, pro-vampire, anti-Slayer. And let's be honest, things like Buffy robbing a bank to keep the Slayer organization running didn't exactly strengthen their reputation. So Harmony publicly rebranded herself as an advocate for vampire rights, and surprisingly people listened. As the media began portraying Slayers as violent extremists, Harmony helped shift opinion toward more civilized vampires, pushing for reforms that gave predators a better image. Meanwhile, fearing Twilight's vision of a new era and what it could mean for the planet, Wolfram and Hart launched an attack on the alien ship. The senior partners hoped to use the ship to escape Earth. Spike fought against them and saved many of the ship's crew, bug-like creatures who later became his allies. By the way, this was already the second hilarious comic series where a supernatural pack chose Spike as their leader and object of worship. The writers definitely liked that idea. Also, the concept of Spike having adventures in space seemed to have intrigued the show's creators for quite some time, as James Marsters himself has mentioned.
The plan was to put Spike in Firefly, which was another Joss's show about space. Spike is immortal, so he would be in the future and he was going to join the cast, but they got canceled.
In the next episodes, we travel to the future, a time when only one Slayer remains, Malaka, while her vampire brother Hearth wields the prophecies and memories of their line. The main enemy is Dark Willow once again, and Buffy is forced to face her in battle. These plots are significant for the upcoming seasons, so remember the striking introduction of the chosen siblings whose story will shape the future. Buffy, after her wildest experience, returned to the team. The Scoobies found help from Oz and his werewolf wife Bayerma in Tibet, their last refuge. There, our Slayer was preparing for the final fight with Twilight. After the rituals in Tibet, Buffy gained the ability to fly too and was eager for revenge, still unaware that Angel was behind the Twilight mask. During his mad god phase, Angel successfully carried out his plan, pushing Buffy to become stronger and ready for yet another insane prophecy. At last, this intense struggle reached its epic climax. After the duel with Angel, Buffy was shocked to realize that Twilight had been him all along. She couldn't believe he had taken the lives of so many of her people. I mean, the real Angel, not Angelus. She barely had time to process what he'd done before a supernatural force consumed them both. compelling them into intimacy because the power of Twilight was literally meant to give birth to a new world. They were suddenly pulled beyond Earth's orbit into another reality. Everything around them changed, as if a new chapter of history had begun. But the old world was still collapsing, attacked by demons. By opening the door to this new universe, Angel and Buffy also unleashed countless hell dimensions, something similar to what we saw in Buffy Season 5, when Dawn was revealed as the key. At the same time, Angel kept insisting that the reality of Twilight was perfectly safe, and that they should stay there, as the new Adam and Eve, new gods, in a new universe. Buffy wasn't inspired by the promise of a new existence. Not when her friends were being killed in the real one. So she broke through the wall of this paradise to see what was truly happening. Angel tried to close the rift and told Buffy to leave her friends behind, saying they would be fine without her, just like the last time she died. He urged her to stay with him, not to stop what the universe had spent millions of years setting in motion. But instead, Buffy reminded Angel that she never did what she was meant to do. Then they finally stepped through the rift together. The tension between them quickly faded. There was even a hint of a romantic moment. Buffy forgave Angel for killing the Slayers, which felt more like a final gesture for her tragic teenage love than anything real. After all, their romantic bond never returned in the future series. The comic simply repeated the arc of the original TV show, a cycle coming full circle. In the next moment, Angel was fighting alongside Buffy in a big battle on Earth. However, the Scoobies were wary of the once noble vampire, uncertain if he could truly be trusted. Just when things seemed dire, the whole Slayer team was saved by an unexpected spaceship. The mysterious visitor, of course, was Spike. There was a funny flashback showing how Spike had quickly exposed Angel as Twilight some time ago and planned a rescue mission. The reveal was portrayed with Spike's typical humor, perfectly fitting his style. During this crisis, Buffy definitely wanted to leave Angel behind, because in her opinion, Spike wouldn't agree to cooperate if Angel stayed. I didn't fully understand this point of view, since Spike and Angel had teamed up during critical moments both before and after this. Anyway, Angel immediately went to Japan to assist other Slayer squads in their fight. Next, I'd say the comics fully captured the Buffy dynamic. Buffy finally thanked Spike for destroying the Turok-Han and closing the Hellmouth. Having beaten the legions of demons, Buffy took a shower in Spike's room, drying her hair while he watched her from the bed. She still wanted to talk about her experience with Angel and the Twilight dimension, but Spike avoided the conversation, which upset Buffy. She believed she could tell him anything because he was her dark place. That didn't stop Buffy from imagining some spicy moments with him and a night together. But our rebellious vampire was serious and focused on a new mission involving the Seed of Wonder, the source of all magic, which ironically was hidden in Sunnydale. Spike had been searching for and studying it since the threat of Twilight first emerged. The tension was rising, and our heroes had to save the mystical forces of Earth. And of course, when it comes to the theme of the supernatural in the Buffyverse, the story naturally centers on its most powerful witch. Willow traveled to the spirit world, where she learned that the seed is the heart of all magical creatures. Destroying it would mean losing them forever. This posed a terrifying danger to herself, Dawn, and others. By the way, Willow's arc in this dimension is quite complex, with a love interest and plenty of drama. With the shocking news from the spirit world, the whole team, the Slayers and the Scoobies, arrived in Sunnydale. Buffy and Spike headed into battle. Once again, it was war on a massive scale. Down in the crater, they encountered the Master. Yes, the ancient vampire was somehow alive again, resurrected to guard the seed. The Master was surprised. He had been told by an unknown source that they would come, but that Buffy would be with Angel, not Spike. During the fight, Buffy crushed the Master's head into the ground as Spike stood by her side and called her his hero. Meanwhile, a strange being appeared before Angel, born from the unnatural bond between him and Buffy. A bird and a cat fused into a winged lion, Twilight. Like Jasmine in Angel Season 4, it was a self-made godlike creature, and that never ended well. Twilight took hold of Angel's essence, ready to complete its mission. He returned to Sunnydale and, amid the chaos driven by dark forces, attacked the Scoobies. To protect Buffy, Spike struck out at Angel, but Angel still possessed divine forces. He flew Spike toward the setting sun, planning to let him burn. Just as Spike began to smolder, Buffy dove between them, throwing them apart in opposite directions, and, with perfect timing and sarcasm, she muttered that she preferred it when they were kissing, like in her sweet dreams. Giles had a crucial insight. The seed was weakening the Twilight influence within Buffy and Angel, because that energy wasn't from this world. Instead, the seed's power was fueling the Scythe, the Slayer's true weapon. They had to get the Scythe to Buffy immediately. But this time, the Watcher wasn't sure if Buffy could kill Angel again. At the very least, she would hesitate, because all she really wanted was to stop him. Xander failed to convince Giles to stay, so Giles rushed into the fight. Angel attacked from behind and snapped his neck. Giles died. Despite all the pain and fear, Buffy pushed Angel back. Then she raised the scythe and struck. It shattered the seed. The explosion of energy stripped both Buffy and Angel of their superhuman abilities. Twilight lost, and we witnessed the slow fading of magic from the world. Even in Venice, Amy and Warren felt the shift. Without Amy's magic sustaining his body, Warren collapsed and died in a pool of bones and blood. Willow fell from the sky, bleeding, and hit the ground, screaming. Kennedy ran to her side to help, and in New York City, Violet's squad reported losing contact with Sunnydale. Spike saw how demons were being pulled back into their home dimensions, and immediately gave chase to one that tried to escape. He won, but spent the next 62 days drifting through space with his crew before finally making it back to Earth. Later, he found Buffy in San Francisco. As for the Scoobies, after the battle, Kennedy and Willow ended their relationship. Kennedy went on to found DeepScan, a security firm that helped other Slayers find jobs outside the demon-hunting world. Faith, who had inherited Giles's legacy, went underground, with Angel hiding him because, in her words, Buffy can't even look at him, and everyone else wants his head on a pike. That makes me think, how insane has this whole journey been from the very beginning? In Angel, the series gave us 4 seasons, where almost everything that happened to Angel and his team had been influenced by Jasmine, an evil god from a higher plane. She even manipulated Cordelia into becoming part demon.
Everything that's happened to Cordy in the past few years, all of it, was planned.
Cordelia was chosen to become a higher being because she's such a pure, radiant saint. Please. How many events have to be nudged in just the right direction?
No way.
We make our own choices. Cheese sandwich here, when to floss. But the big stuff, like 2 vampires squeezing out a kid, leaving Pylea, your sister, opening the wrong book, sleeping with the enemy.
So the big nasty inside of Cordy is gonna give birth to itself?
Circle of life. It's a beautiful thing.
Then came the epic continuation in Buffy Season 8, revealing the truth about Whistler and Twilight, mysterious forces that had been guiding Buffy and Angel all along. They were never trying to save the world. Their goal was to destroy our world and build a new one from its ashes. In the end, it was just a sad illusion, no noble purpose, no real mission. In this mess, only Buffy and Spike dared to reject the prophecies, and I have to admit it was a bold move in this crazy universe.
Given the Shonshu prophecy is still unresolved.
You're welcome to that heroic destiny, whether you deserve it or not. I'm not you. I don't give a piss about atonement or destiny.
The final episode of Season 8 introduced new threats, both to Buffy herself and to her team. This news brought Spike back. On Dawn and Xander's balcony, there was a classic Spike and Buffy scene, one I really missed. Spike pointed out that unlike Willow, he supported Buffy's decision to destroy the Seed of Wonder. When he tried to cheer her up, Buffy unexpectedly broke down in tears and quickly ran back inside inside the apartment, not wanting Spike to see her vulnerable. Before and after that meeting, Spike had several half-demon women who showed interest in him, but he admitted he was still thinking about Buffy, so none of those romances ever happened. The writers stayed true to the original TV show's storyline. They chose Buffy and Spike as the official canon couple, and continued to develop their relationship throughout the later seasons. In the following chapter of the Buffyverse, the world had already changed. Magic was broken, and new dangers had begun to emerge. One of the key mysteries was Giles's will. He had left everything to Faith, all his possessions, his legacy, except for one thing, the vampire book we all remembered from the earliest seasons of the TV show.
Books, I'm new.
Miss Summers? I was told you were coming.
That's not what I'm looking for.
My mistake.
We'll definitely dive into all the upcoming secrets of the Buffyverse, and I know some of it might sound crazy, but if you remember the storyline with the monks who literally created Buffy's sister, or Darla's pregnancy with Angel's son, a child from another dimension and timeline, you'll see there are plenty of questions, even for casual viewers. Both fans and actors have been really excited about the continuation of the Buffyverse. Fun fact, James Marsters himself helped write one of the comics. The story takes place between season 6 and 7, when Spike got his soul but hadn't yet returned to Sunnydale. It's so sad that some of these comics are really hard to find nowadays. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and see you next time.